All right, hello everybody. I'm liking the living room as my new backdrop. I'm filming in the middle of the night, so lighting's not great. But as the title promises, I will share books. I bought so many books. I have gone to Ollie's Bargain Outlet twice in my adult life. There is one in the town right next door to mine, and yeah, it is. So I'm from Columbus, Ohio, which is the home of Big Lots, which I believe is. Did I hear correctly that it's going out of business? Is that the case? Um. Anyway, I know that Big Lots stopped being really much of a overstock store, so this feels Ollie's Bargain Outlet. Yeah, that's the name of it. Feels like what Big Lots must have been in its heyday, because when I was growing up, I don't think Big Lots was in its heyday. Anyway, so first book on the stack here is The Hiding Place by Corey Ten Boom with Elizabeth and John Sherrill. And the author's name was very familiar to me, and I couldn't quite place why until I started reading the back and the inside. I had seen, I think it was a YouTube video, a kind of shorter YouTube video about the Ten Boom family. They, um, I'll just read it from the back of the book. In World War II, she and her family risked their lives to help Jews and underground workers escape from the Nazis. Now, wait, it doesn't actually go into a lot about her family, but she was born in the Netherlands, and so her family helped hide. I think it was in their house, helped hide Jews and other people during the Holocaust in their house. But in 1944, it says on the back of the book, their lives were forever altered when they were betrayed, arrested, and thrown into the infamous Nazi death camps. Only Corey among her family survived. This book retailed for $24.99. I paid $4.99. There were a ton of these. There were like 20 of these sitting on the shelf. I do like how well the book is designed. It's got kind of like a fabric type cloth. I don't think it actually is cloth, but it feels like cloth bound. Yeah, it's the deluxe edition, it says on the front. And this deluxe edition was published in 2023. It's copyright 1971 and 1984 were the first two times it was printed. Yeah, and there's Corey herself with one of the first editions. Yeah, and that's a picture of and this is a picture of their house actually, and the secret room is right here on the top level. So flip through it, several pictures of it in the store. It sounds really good. So that was awesome to grab. This HRH, So Many Thoughts on Royal Style, is by Elizabeth Holmes, a great coffee table book, sturdy hardcover, retailed for $35, and I paid $4.99. I did also look up reviews on this book to see if it was well received online. It actually has an average of over a 4-star rating. I did look it up, not because it's not just pictures. There's actually a lot of writing in it. And I thought I recognized the name Elizabeth Holmes. It's actually because Elizabeth Holmes is also the name of that Theranos lady. The whole scandal of that tech company that promised blood technology that didn't exist. But at least I think her name is Elizabeth Holmes. But anyway, Elizabeth Holmes, this one at least, is. Oh, it doesn't actually say it on the back. But I looked her up briefly, and oh, yeah. She's a journalist and contributing editor to Town and Country. She spent more than a decade on staff at the Wall Street Journal. She has also appeared in other national publications, including the New York Times, In Style, Real Simple, and The Business of Fashion. So, yeah, reputable fashion writer. And there is quite a lot of writing in this. And I have, during different points in my life, followed social media accounts that show photos of the royals and their different fashions. So I have been interested in, I mean, I'm interested in fashion myself, not like so into it that I watch like the Met Gala or Fashion Week or anything like that. But I do like seeing photos of different people, famous or not, and seeing their take on styles. And I like that there is so much writing in this book, because I like seeing. Oh, let me see if I can find like a good example. Oh, like here on this page it says, another key tenet of Kate's sensible wardrobe strategy is her willingness to repeat pieces. It sounds silly, I know, because every normal person rewears their clothing. The Queen and Diana recycle pieces in their wardrobes quite often, in fact. Remember how often Her Majesty wore her coronation gown? But Kate's willingness to shop her closet was a revelation to this new generation of fans, even worthy of headlines. This is a group that came of age in a one-and-done strategy, thanks in part to social media, but also the red carpet. Most celebrities would not be caught dead wearing the same dress twice, and here was a duchess repeating on the regular. So, okay, not like groundbreaking stuff there, right? But I like that the fashion is placed in context and that someone's like writing about it and dissecting the meanings behind the different clothing pieces and the significance behind them. So I thought this was an awesome find. Because I was a little bit worried, that it was going to be just one of those sensational books that wasn't well researched or well written, but no, it seems to be really, really nice. So that'll be a good fun read for 2025, because I'm filming this on New Year's Eve. This was $4.99, retail for $21.99. It's called Super Shortcut Instant Pot by Jeffrey Eisner, the ultimate time-saving step-by-step cookbook, simple and flavorful meals that serve 1 to 6. I have never heard of this guy before, but this book sounded really good. Like, I actually want to eat the stuff that's in here. There's so many cookbooks, I pick them up and they're like, oh, that's, and I think to myself, oh, that sounds delightful. But I don't want to go through all those steps, and I don't want to go purchase those exotic ingredients. So ultimately, I'm not going to make any of those things, and therefore buying that cookbook is not a sound financial investment. But this, I have an Instant Pot, like an actual Instant Pot branded kitchen appliance, and I rarely use it, but I should use it more. Oh yeah, and this is official Instant Pot book if you care about that. Let's see when this book. Oh, I should check when all the books came out. I need to remember that. This book came out in April 2023, so super recent. Like, the books at Ollie's Bargain Outlet are just fantastic, and I can see that some of the stickers are not in any of these books necessarily, but some of the stickers from the original stores they were sold at, you could tell what store they were sold at, and so a lot of the books I saw were from Walmart, and then some others had Target stickers on them. So, like, these aren't just like random books someone printed in their garage. So this book was published in 2020, the HRH style book. These are, solid, like, sometimes best-selling books that just one store had too much of them. So we get to benefit. This book was $4.99, and this retailed for $19.99. I've never seen something like this, but it's so cool. It got dinged up when in transport when I was taking it home. It wasn't dinged up when I saw it in the store. Life of the Party Paper Crafting. There are delightful parties with ready-to-use cards, tags, coasters, menus, and more by Valerie McKeon. And so what's cool about this, it's a book full of, okay, the first couple of pages are just kind of like informational, but it's a book about crafts, but it gives you the actual craft items in the book. So these are punch-out cards, like they're perforated edges. So I don't know what these are for necessarily. I guess you could use these for whatever you want, honestly. Like, you can put them to decorate. You can put them on your table to decorate a little, like, coffee event that you're doing. Or you could use them as note cards and mail them off to people. Whatever you want. This one says pay there. And then there are tags and napkin. There are even paper napkin rings in here. I'll find some good examples of other things. Now, paper napkin rings, and at the very back, it's just patterned paper, so you can cut out and do whatever you want with it. You can use it as scrapbook paper, whatever. It says on the back, there are 22 pretty cards, 25 handy tags, 24 classy place cards, and 27 cute mini cards, 16 coasters, 16 napkin rings, and 16 wine charms. Oh, that's what some of them are. 4 stylish menus, and 9 sophisticated belly bands, 2 versatile envelope templates, and 6 postcards, 16 pages of gorgeous two-sided scrapbook paper. Yeah, so that is such a cool concept that I've never seen before. It said, coasters. I don't remember seeing. Oh, these are the coasters. So, what a fun find. I only found one book that was like that, and that was the only copy of it that I found. It's by Design Originals. I guess it's the publishing company. Yeah. I got this, which was $5.99 and originally $30. Such a cool concept. It's called Only in America and the Weird and Wonderful. It's by Wide-Eyed Publishing. And it says on the back, get ready for a road trip like no other around the fabulous USA. Discover unique, strange, funny, record-breaking, and downright unbelievable facts about every state in the USA. See the strangest claims to fame and the most unusual place names every state has to offer. Visit the city of Dinosaur, drop by the Pizza Museum, and discover the home of the world's biggest chocolate sculpture. One thing is for sure, this is the land of the impossible, brilliant, and bizarre, and everything you'll find in this book is truly only in America. Trying to find the publication date. Illustrations are by Alan Barry Reese and author is Heather Alexander, and I can't find a publication date, which is unfortunate. But I'd like to know how old this book is. But genuinely, there's no info page on the front. Oh, it's all the way in the back. It's copyright 2021. Trying to see if there's anything. There's a bunch of information here, but nothing that I need to say. Let me find. I'm gonna find Ohio since that's where I'm from. And also I can like speak with like the most authority about the state of Ohio. Gosh, of course it's toward the back of the book though. Ohio. I guess this makes sense. North Dakota and Ohio are right after each other. Because like that's how it works alphabetically. But those are the two states I've lived in prior to the state that I'm living in now. Ah, here's Ohio. Okay. Buckeye State. Yep. The world's largest office stamp makes its mark in a Cleveland park. I didn't know we had that. I didn't know we had a duct tape festival either. But we did have the first professional baseball club, which was the Cincinnati Red Stockings. So there you go. Man, all of this is weird. I didn't know most of this. Oh, Ohio has the only non-rectangular state flag. That one I have heard before. The books they say were published, I guess by Ohio authors. I haven't heard of them before. But, okay, here's the thing. It says state slang. Instead of excuse me, Ohioans often say please when not understanding something. I have never done that. I don't think I've ever done that before. I don't think other people do that. At least not in Columbus. We just say what? Or excuse me. Okay, anyway. Not to get mad or anything. I like flip to a random state. No, I want a random state. Okay, here's Wyoming, a random state. So cool. And the last book I got is also the biggest. I paid $12.99 for this book, but it originally retailed for $50. Is The History of Tarot Art, Demystifying the Art and Arcana, Deck by Deck. It's by Epic Inc. Guided by Holly Adams Easley and Esther Joy Archer, host of the popular Wildly Tarot podcast, which I've never heard of before. This collector's book provides a fresh look at the influence of tarot from its beginnings to today. Learn more about the stories behind the art of tarot's most influential decks, as well as the female artists whose work was often overshadowed in their time. This book also provides tips for doing your own tarot readings and a cheat sheet on the meanings of the Rider-Waite-Smith, Thoth, and Tarot de Marseille cards. Both longtime tarot practitioners and newcomers to the practice are sure to find fascinating new insights in this retrospective. Here's a page. Here's a sampling. Okay. This is kind of like a coffee table style book, but it's a lot of reading. I thought that was interesting. And not something I would have ever thought to look for or thought I would ever find in a store, but it was at Ollie's Bargain Outlet. Okay, that's all the books. Now I'm going to move into food. So everything after this is food. I had a limited amount of time because I had to make it to the bus, and the bus has a limited service on New Year's Eve, because it is a holiday. So I spent over an hour in the book section, and I had to dash through the food sections. I didn't even get a chance to look at other parts of the store, which is probably a good thing for my budget. So I got this box of Kashi cereal. It was $3.49. It says it retails for $4.98. That does sound right to me. I don't think I've ever eaten Kashi before. It's chocolate waffle bites is what I got, and I have heard of it before. So 4 grams of fiber, fair trade certified chocolate, non-GMO verified, vegan. Figured I'd give it a try, see if it's any good. Also, it's probably healthier for me. Yeah, 1 cup of it only has 18% of my daily value of sugar, which is a lot less than most cereals. I got the checkout line is very long at Ollie's. They're really trying to sell you stuff. This Lily's Mocha Hot Cocoa, which is extra dark chocolate bar, chocolate style bar. I guess it's not actually chocolate. I don't know what that is. Chocolate with 70% cacao. No sugar added, made with stevia. Fair trade certified, non-GMO project. I've heard of this brand before, but I've never actually eaten Lily's chocolate, so I thought I would give it a try. Retails for $3.49, it says, and was $2.29. It's good until, December 2025. The cereal is good. The cereal says best if used by December 16th. But I'm still gonna eat it. I've eaten cereal months out of date. I don't care. I'm not mad. Got some more chocolate. I got this Wilton Candy Melts Dark Cocoa. What says retails for $2.49. I paid 99 cents, which is cheaper than Dollar Tree. And this is good until April 2025. I've actually never used Candy Melts, but I've thought I wanna maybe this is a thought that I've literally just come up with right now. I have not pre-planned this thought. Maybe in 2025, one of the goals I want to have for myself, which I do not set resolutions, by the way. I feel like that's just setting yourself up for failure. I just start doing things whenever. But I do like the whole concept, the metaphor of turning over the new year, being you turning over the new leaf, and that's when you do all the new things. I do want to cook more in 2025, in terms of like cooking more different recipes and just cooking more in general. Because what I do is, like, it's not like I go out to eat a lot, but I just make, like, the same couple of meals, and I'll make them in huge batches so I can eat them for a whole week. Basically, I just make family-sized batches, because I live alone, and so a family-sized batch will last me a while. So I feel like I'm going to do some recipe at some point that's going to make use of these candy dolls. And I thought, it's a great deal, might as well grab it when I see it. Got this Apiterra Raw Honey. It just looks fancy. I've never heard of this brand before. This is good until April 2028. I mean, it's honey. Theoretically, it's good forever. It was born in the meadows of Turkey. There are two versions. There's the mountain wildflower, and the other one was just like wildflower, I think. There were some in these bottles that are 14 ounces, and there were also some in larger jars. I just wanted the bottle for ease of use. I paid $3.49. It says it retails for $5.29, so not like a huge savings, but I thought this just looked so fancy, and either I could use it for myself, or I could put it in like a gift for somebody else, because it just looks so nice and fancy. And mountain wildflower, doesn't that sound nice? I don't actually use honey for that much. I know some people use it in baking and cooking. I just said I don't really do a whole lot of that. Nothing too exciting. And I know some people put it in their tea, but I just like to drink my tea plain. So we'll see what happens to that. What use I'll get out of that. This sounded good. I've never seen this before. Was $3.99. I paid $2.99. It is a creamy cheddar pasta mix by the Bear Creek brand, which I've bought their soup mixes before. It cooks in 12 minutes. 4 1-cup servings. Just add water. Also, a lot of the things I cook are things like this. So, yeah. Thought it's great just to have one of these things on hand for when I don't feel like doing too much in the kitchen, but still better for me to cook at home rather than go out. This, I'm kicking myself because I wish I had bought like 10 of these, because it was only $1.29, almost comparable to Dollar Tree, and it says it retails for $2.49. It is this good wheat Elbows high fiber pasta. There's a bunch of them in my store. It's 12 ounces, and it is 4 times the fiber as regular wheat pasta. Half a dry cup contains 29% of your daily value of fiber. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm eating more than half a cup of pasta. So, yeah. It's good until May 2025. I'll see if I like it or not. I'm sure I will. This is actually great timing because I wasn't even thinking of this in the store, but there was a skillet macaroni and cheese recipe that I found on Pinterest that I want to make, and these will be perfect for that because I don't have any Ello pasta except for this box I'm holding in my hand. And I used to skip over those skillet recipes, but when I moved into this apartment, which by the way is like owned by a private landlord, and it's not in a building, it's kind of like its own, like it's in a neighborhood, and it's not like there are not multiple units. There's not a whole bunch of units. There's only 2 units in the building that I live in. So that'll make sense for like the next thing I'm about to say. When I moved into this apartment, the previous tenant had actually left several things behind, one of which was a cast iron skillet. And so I inherited that from the previous owner. So now I have a cast iron skillet to move from my stovetop to the oven, which I never had before. I'd seen skillets at the thrift store plenty of times, but I just never felt the need to invest in it. But, the universe provides. So I got a skillet, and I also got, the last tenant also left behind an air fryer, which is a caloric, like it's spelled like kind of like calorie, but with like a K, air fryer behind, which was also very fortuitous because my last air fryer, which was a Best Buy Insignia brand one, got recalled. So I was air fryerless because it got recalled, and then I moved out of state, and then I was like, well, I'm not buying a new one. I don't even use it that much because there's a pain in the butt to use, because I had the oven style one, and then you would always have to like clean out the little trays inside. Anyway, the universe provides. These stuffed puffs, I've actually seen these. I think somebody that I watch on YouTube hauled these in one of their grocery videos at some point. And then I thought those sound good. I'd like to try those, and promptly forgot about them. But I found them for 99 cents. And they apparently retail for $3.48. So these are, just filled marshmallows filled with classic milk chocolate. I've always thought, now I might get a little hate for this, but sometimes, not always thought, but sometimes when I eat good s'mores, I think to myself, man, I wish the chocolate to marshmallow ratio was a little bit more on the chocolate side. Now you could say to yourself, man, just put more chocolate in it. But the marshmallow is a big marshmallow. Like, if I put more chocolate in it, it's just like adding more stuff to the inside. I'm saying like less marshmallow in the marshmallow to chocolate ratio. Anyway, it says creamier center for gooier s'mores, and so I'm very interested in trying this. This is an 8.6 ounce bag, so you're getting less marshmallow for your buck than other packs, but I'm not mad. Good until May 2025, and that is the last item in my bag here. I spent a total of $54.47 before tax. And yes, in Illinois, we are taxed on groceries, so I did pay tax on everything. Okay, at the end of my videos, I like to do a favorite item kind of roundup. I don't know why. I just always have. It's fun to me to kind of... I think it's also, not to get too philosophical here, but I also think it's a good thing to really, like, look at the things that you've purchased for yourself, and if applicable, you know, sometimes it might just be like, oh, you bought, like, a pooper scooper, and that doesn't bring you joy, like for your dog. That's fine. Not everything you buy has to bring you joy, but I think it's good to just appreciate the things that you have, you know, and that it'll help you feel just a little bit more joy in your day, to be like, man, that was a good purchase. I really, really do like this item. So there you go. I think one of the books I'm actually most excited about is the HRH one, the style book. So cool. I would have never paid the $35 for it, but for $5, hell yeah. The last time I went to Ollie's, I also got several books, but they were actually gifts that I gave away at Christmas. So I didn't keep them for myself, but I was so impressed the last time I went. I don't even remember what possessed me to go. I was just like, oh, I've never been in this store. Let me go, because it's right by the mall. And I was going to the mall, so I was like, let me just stop by Ollie's while I'm here. And I think Ollie's is my favorite place in that shopping center. Like, screw all the stuff in the mall. Ollie's is where it's at. Other favorite things. I was very surprised I found a cookbook that I actually thought was worth purchasing. Like I said, a lot of the things I'm just like, oh, that sounds like... that would be like a coffee table book for me. Like, oh, that looks nice, but I would never make it. I'm too lazy for that. But there's nothing in here that I found that I'm like, oh, that's too complicated. I'm not doing that. Everything actually seems approachable, which is rare for me in a cookbook. I've bought cookbooks that say they're supposed to be approachable, and then they're not. So, let's see. Favorite grocery item? Maybe? Do I want to do that? Yeah, favorite grocery item. Probably the elbow pasta, because don't we all need fiber? We all do need fiber. Some American Association of something has said, some health organization has said that Americans are very much lacking in fiber, like all of us. Doesn't matter who you are, unless you're one of those like uber health conscious people who like eats organic all the time, you're probably not getting enough fiber. And even then, you still might not be if you're one of those people. So that's awesome. All right. Oh, this was a Christmas gift, by the way. If you haven't seen my video, I posted it on my second channel that I just kind of started. So if you're wondering where that video is, second channel, which is called Amanda's Alchemy, by the way. Anyway, I hope you all have a great start to your 2025, and thank you for hanging out with me, and look at these cool great white sharks. All right, have a good one.